Hey everyone, this is Elias from RevMatch Media, and today Chevy announced the 2025 Equinox. Now, there are some changes to this, so we'll discuss them. We're looking at exterior changes, interior changes, drivetrain changes, and even a new trim. So let's get started. Now, at the moment of this recording, we were given a little bit of information regarding the new Equinox. We don't have too much information, so this information may change as things are released or added on, really. So let's talk about the exterior design. The big thing with the change on the 2025 Chevy Equinox is the fact that we have now a more aggressive front end. We're talking about more influence from their truck lineup from the Silverado that just kind of has a more aggressive front end, has more boxy features that give it more of a kind of a bulldog aggressive look to it, which I love. It definitely is a nice design, and that's what you're gonna see with that front end now that it's not as smooth as it was in the previous generation. Again, it has a stronger presence to it, and those boxy fenders that I love makes it look like it's significantly wider, and it just looks really, really nice. So that's one of the biggest changes with that. And then we also have the front end. So the front end is going to have three different fascias that are going to be dependent on the trim. So we have the LT, RS, and the Active. Yes, I kind of let the cat out of the bag. We do have a new Active trim, which we'll completely discuss separately. But yeah, as far as that goes, what I love about the new design is that even in the LT model, which is typically like their base model, it still looks really good. So it's not something where you're gonna be really like bummed out of like, yeah, it's not an RS, it's not an Active, because yeah, you have the front end that looks a little bit more, you know, aggressive or something like that. The LT still looks good. I love the look to it. It's nice and classy. It's got kind of like that chrome finish at the end, so I love that. Granted, yes, the Active and the RS do have a full black color, which I really, really like. It's, yeah, probably my favorite, but the LT just looks so good as well. So big changes on that front end, and love that. Now let's go on the inside. So going to the interior, the biggest change is definitely the new 11-inch configurable gauge cluster. Sometimes you want to go ahead and configure things out depending on what you're doing with your drive. If you're going on a long haul, you want to be able to have specific information. If you're towing, you want to have other specific information for something like that. So it's nice to change that around with the gauge cluster. And we also have an 11.3-inch infotainment screen, which is nice. It's nice and big, nice and clear. And I know some people aren't liking the bigger screens, but you can clearly see that the infotainment screen doesn't go above the dashboard line. So it's really nice to stay out of the way, but it's nice and big to give you all the information that you want right on there on that nice big screen. The other big thing that I was able to see is that we have the column shifter now. So we have moved from the shifter being in the center console up to the column, which is nice because now it frees up more space for other things like the wireless charger. That looks really good. It's actually a more of a vertical charger than it is kind of a flat surface. I like those, similar to like the Cadillac Escalade. That was incredible because it took up such a tiny space compared to again, a more flat surface that you have with a more traditional, I guess, pad. And when you have those pads, it's kind of tough to put anything there because if anything bumps the phone off of that pad, it's not going to be charging anymore. So the fact that it's kind of moved over, it's really nice. And again, it takes up less space for you to have that open area for other things that you may want to put on there. So I really like the fact that they did change to that. And yeah, the column shifter, you could see, clears up a significant amount of space for other things that you may want. The other thing I did kind of peek, and we have some RS pictures for the interior as well as Active pictures on the interior. It looks like we are going to get heated and vented seats. So that is a nice touch to have. Some luxuries that, yeah, once you kind of have them and then you don't, like I've experienced with these different press cars, it's kind of one of those where like, man, I wish this had it. So I'm glad it has both heated and vented seats options on there. And just kind of peeking around in the pictures as well, I did see that we do get 2 seat presets, which is nice in case you share the vehicle with someone else. They can find their sweet spot and you can have your sweet spot as well. The next thing is the Active. Yes, we have a new trim. We have the Chevy Equinox Active. And what that means is we're gonna get a little bit of more off-roady kind of things. And yeah, I kind of put it lightly because it is gonna be more on the light off-roading. Don't expect to go rock crawling with this. But there are some things that, you know, if you drive unpaved roads, if the conditions on your, you know, drives aren't the best, it's nice to have some of these things. So first, let's talk about the front specifically for the Active. We do get a nice black grille, which is nice. I like the way that it looks. You do get a 2-tone option available. And my favorite, thank you Chevy for sending or for taking these press pictures and using the cacti green color. I fell in love with that when they released the tracks, and the fact that we have it in the Equinox makes it even better. It looks really, really good in this. It kind of almost looks like this. Yeah, now that I think about it. So nice little touch to it. And with that being said, you do get the 17-inch aluminum wheels as well. And when I was zooming into the pictures, you can kind of see the tires that they were using for this. Now this may change because suppliers and that kind of stuff, but we are looking at a 235/65 General Grabber all-terrain tire. So it is a nice meteor tire. It has an aggressive tread, so nice to see that. Again, if you have unpaved roads, you're probably not gonna feel it as much as you would in a more, you know, a taller wheel with a skinnier tire profile. So it's nice to have that option as well. And the other thing as well, with this being the Active, the interior is gonna change. You do get the maple sugar and black interior with the premium Evotex and suede microfiber seating surfaces. So it's nice that you get that different color. It looks really good. I like the look to it. The only thing I would say is you may want to get a all-purpose cleaner because, yeah, that lighter color, and if you decide to take this a little bit in unpaved areas, maybe a little harder to clean. Yeah, so just be sure to have that ready for you. So overall though, I love the new Active. I'm loving the fact that we're getting that treatment in the Equinox because I think it really suits it well. Now let's talk about powertrain. So powertrain, previous year or previous generation, the 2024 model had the 1.5 liter engine with the 6-speed all around for both front wheel drive and all-wheel drive. That has changed. So a couple of things have changed. Now, according to Chevy's verbiage that we got, it is a refreshed 1.5 liter turbo engine. We don't know what is being refreshed. We don't know the power numbers. We don't know the MPGs. I was hoping to get that to see if there was a bump in things, because that's always nice. More power, more MPGs, keep things, you know, nice and updated, to keep up with competition essentially. So we don't know that detail. Hopefully we'll get it soon. What we do know is that transmission is gone. That 6-speed from the previous generation is gone. We do get a CVT in the front wheel drive configuration, and we get an 8-speed auto conventional if you go to the all-wheel drive model. Now, a couple of things with the CVT. Yeah, I'm not a big fan from my personal use of them in a Nissan Versa. Yes, I know. But in our Trailblazer, it actually is really good. So if we still get that performance that we're getting in the Trailblazer, I would love to see that in a bigger Equinox, because I think it works well in our little Trailblazer. The other thing I don't know though is longevity. Don't have that information yet, and thankfully we don't have personal experience on issues with that, but I'm glad that, you know, it performs well in our Trailblazer. So hopefully it will perform great in the new Equinox. The other thing as well with the Equinox in the RS and Active front wheel drive models, you will have driver selectable modes. So we do get normal and we get a snow option. As far as if the all-wheel drive will have drive selectable modes, we don't know. We didn't get that information specifically for that drivetrain. So definitely excited to see what is going to be of the all-wheel drive model. To conclude, the 2025 Chevy Equinox is going to have a more aggressive exterior that is going to be based off their truck lineup design. We get upgraded tech with their gauge cluster being a digital screen, as well as a nice big infotainment screen as well. We get a new active trim, so if you want to go ahead and do some light off-roading, maybe some unpaved road driving, you're gonna have a little bit more comfort with those bigger tire and more aggressive off-road all-terrain tires on there. We get some powertrain tweaks, so we get a refreshed 1.5 liter turbo engine, and we drop the 6-speed automatic in turn for a CVT for front-wheel drive configuration and an 8-speed for the all-wheel drive configuration. Now, what would I like to see? Let's talk about Redline Edition. Yeah, I liked it on the previous model, so I would like to see it be released for the new Equinox. But overall though, I'm excited to see what Chevy will be doing with the Equinox, and hopefully we can get our hands on it and give you guys a full review. So remember, find the right gear. See ya.